Well, now to the issue of infant sleeping. There are very few parents out there who haven't looked for help in figuring out what's normal when it comes to sleep and how to deal with the problems. Well, I'm joined now by a woman who is so good at dealing with her own children that she's now a professional sleep consultant, Adele Gargan. Adele, thank you very much indeed for coming into us this morning. First off, can you tell me, what do you do as a professional sleep consultant? How does it work?
Well, how it works really is parents would come to me, they would tell me what issues that they're having with their child sleeping. It's normally down to habits or something like that, like whether the child might need to be rocked to sleep or fed to sleep or use a soother or something like that. But depending on how the child goes to sleep in the evening, that will set the tone for the rest of the night. So if you have to rock your child to sleep, you will be needed during the night to help your child get back to sleep, because they won't be able to do that for themselves. And the same with feeding and all the rest.
So if the child gets into a habit of being fed to sleep, because they do wake up during the night normally anyway, don't they? And usually get back themselves.
Yeah, it's normal for a child. It's normal for a child to wake up. It's to do with their sleep cycles. A child could wake up 5 or 6 times during the night, and it's not an issue if that child can go off to sleep by themselves in the evening time. But if the child needs help to go off to sleep in the evening time, they will need help to return to sleep during the night, and that's where problems arise.
And I presume, Adele, I mean, do you go into families' homes? Are you like super nanny and sit there and observe and figure out what they should be doing? Or what do you do for families?
What I do is they would complete a diary for me, and I would know from the diary exactly what's going on. It would be daytime and nighttime, so they would tell me how the child goes to bed, what the child eats, when they sleep, because naps are very important as well to help with nighttime sleep. So I would see all that, because if a child is overtired, if they don't nap well enough during the day, they will wake up lots during the night.
Really? So if you put it, you would have thought the reverse, wouldn't you?
No, and that is a common misconception, really.
So all those parents who are shaking things to keep their children awake in the late afternoon, no, you should let them nap if they need to.
Let them have a little nap. A 10-minute snooze could be very beneficial. The reason being is cortisol is released in the brain, and that acts like adrenaline. So your baby then will fight sleep.
It's a stress hormone, isn't it, cortisol?
Yeah, exactly. And your child will only go to sleep then when exhausted. But when the child changes cycles during the night, and all children will rouse a bit during the night, when they do that, they will wake up fully, that cortisol is still in the brain, and then they can't relax again, so they're awake then for ages.
So they wake up wired.
Yes, they do.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And sorry, I didn't let you finish there as to what you do. So you look at them, they keep a diary, you try to identify what the issues are.
Exactly. And then I create a plan for them. And depending really on what way they want to progress, I would develop a plan depending on the parents. But normally, if you're...
So you don't go in and sit by the cot with them,
no,
you tell them what to do?
No, it's a consultation that I tell them what they need to do, and then I support them along the way over the phone or email or text or whatever way. If they have any questions whatsoever, they're welcome to give me a call, and I'll be checking in with them frequently as well.
And does it always involve crying and...?
It depends. With the little babies, because they don't understand what you're doing. You're breaking a habit, so there will be tears. But you're there to comfort them right along the way. You wouldn't be leaving your baby for more than 10 seconds really at a time. It's important that the baby knows that you're there, but you still have that little habit that you need to break to. And sleep is so important, and you need to remember that the children grow in their sleep. It's important that they have sleep, and as a parent, especially if you're working in that, and especially if you travel to work, it's very important that you get sleep too. And for the tears that you will have trying to help your baby to sleep, you will save on lots of tears after the fact when they are.
How long does it normally take to break a habit? I mean, if you've been feeding a child to sleep for 6 months or whatever.
Yeah, you should give yourself about 2 weeks. The first week being tough, and the end of the second week, you will see a definite improvement.
2 weeks, that is a big commitment, isn't it?
It is.
Every night.
Now, the first 3 nights are the toughest, but it'll be up and down the first week. You'll have good nights and bad nights. Then the second week, it'll all get much easier then.
In theory.
In theory.
And is it ever too late? Is it ever too late? I mean, if you've got a 4-year-old who's still not sleeping, for example.
Actually, you should get it seen to when they're 4, especially when they're school-going age. Then it's a real issue then, because an overtired child can look like they are suffering from ADHD or something like that, and they can't concentrate if they're really tired. So it's important that they do get adequate sleep.
That's interesting, so that they need it. So this is not just...
Oh, they really need it.
It's interesting, Adele, when people come to you, I presume they're at the end of their tether.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many people would you be seeing?
During a week.
Yeah, like are there a lot of people who get to the
yes,
stage where they need professional advice on getting kids to sleep?
Yeah, there would be. I would probably have maybe 2 consultations a day.
Really, that many?
Yeah.
And these are just families who are kind of like, what kind of situations do you deal with? Tell me.
Yeah, generally a lot of the parents I would get are parents that are going back to work, and when the mum is going back to work, and she can't breastfeed on demand right throughout the day and throughout the night because the child has to go with a childminder
or whatever, yeah.
And they need to get the baby into a routine. So that would be quite commonly a lot of the issues. I get a lot of 2 and 3 year olds as well when they change into bed, and an awful lot of the time I get children after they've been sick. You might have had the perfect sleeper and then they get sick and then they're completely out of their routine.
Yeah, we all know that one.
Yeah, exactly. So the parents want just a helping hand to get them back on track again.
And is that difficult?
It can and it can't be. It depends on how long it's going and how ill your child was, obviously. But it's important to know that when your child is sick, your child will be up during the night. So just expect it and deal with it and do whatever you can to ease your child's pain. Then afterwards, get back to your routine, wake them up at a certain time in the morning, get them back into their napping schedule, and then be reassuring to them at night time, but tell them, that no, you have to go back into your own bed now, but keep going in and out to them, rather than having them hopping in and out to come and see you.
So put the investment in of kind of sleepless nights for yourself for 2 weeks, rather than just letting them into the bed all the time. But I mean, is there anything really wrong with that? Them coming into your bed if you all get a bit of a sleep?
No. It's down to the individual family unit. If you have no problem with it, then nobody else should either. Once you're all getting the sleep, if the best way to co-sleep is, to go to bed with your child in the evening, and then there's no change. What can happen is
go to bed with your child in the evening, like at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, but now after 20 minutes,
again.
After about 20 minutes, your child will go into a deep sleep, and then you're free for about 3 hours before they start changing cycles. Because a common mistake is your baby goes to sleep with you, then you leave. So your baby wakes up and goes, "Oh, where's mummy gone?" Gets all upset. They don't know where you've gone. And then, they start really crying and you have to go back and you have to rock your child or whatever again to sleep. And that can happen throughout the night. So like if it was you and you fell asleep on the couch and then you woke up in the bed upstairs, you would wonder, how did I get here?
What happened here?
Where's everybody gone? So it's the same for a child. So it's important that, their environment doesn't change from when they go to sleep.
It's fascinating. But that 3 hour window you mentioned is very interesting. Yes. So that is the safest time of the night to...
Give them 20 minutes to a half an hour to get into a deep sleep. Then leave them for about 3 hours, you're fine, but get back into bed before they go back into their lighter sleep. Like you probably notice, and you'll think it's that bottom step of the stairs when you go to bed at night time. They wake up, but that's more to do with cycles. If they go to sleep at 7 in the evening, they will most likely go into change cycle around 10:30, 11 at night time.
And come looking for you again.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's fascinating. Adele, thank you so much for coming in to us this morning.
Can I just say, it is Nurofen for Children's National Baby Day today. And today they have a very busy Facebook page, so they'll be giving away lots of free precious moments. So log on to that. Dr. Jim Keeley will be on about pain relief later on this afternoon, and I will be doing a question and answer session tomorrow afternoon from 3 p.m. and that's Facebook.
Really, on the Facebook page?
On the Facebook
so if you've got any queries that you want to deal with individually. Great.
Yeah.
There's lots of queries outside. I can hear everybody going, what about my baby? But listen, Adele, thank you very much indeed for coming into us this morning.
No problem.
Now, Seachtain na Gaeilge is currently underway and many events have been organised to celebrate the Irish language right across the country. Well, to mark the occasion, second-level students from around Ireland got a chance to tell politicians what they think